Good evening. Welcome back to Blue Jay Tay TV. I am Blue Jay Tay, and I am so stoked about doing this. I am diving into OG classic reality TV. I am going to be talking about Flavor of Love. I'm going to do all seasons 1 through 3, but I'm going to start with season 1, and I am beyond excited about this. So let's get started. Cheers. So, okay, let me just say this. Let me issue this disclaimer. Flavor of Love, I mean, we had plenty of reality shows, especially around that time, but I'm saying Flavor of Love, just like The Bachelor, The Surreal Life, Strange Love, those were top tier reality shows. And I am so stoked to do this because, I mean, I don't actually watch season 1 anymore. I mean, I might go back to it every once in a while, but I really just watched season 2 because that was to me an epic season, to be honest. Maybe rewatching this, I'll find some stuff that I really like about it, but I really do love season 2, honestly. And of course, the Queen Bee, the HBIC New York, aka Tiffany Pollard. She made season 1, but she damn sure made season 2. I mean, season 2, it was good. There was some stuff that carried it, but when she came on the scene, it was chaos from that point on to the end. But let's stop talking about it and let's get into the bread and butter of this. Okay, so episode 1 is called 15 Beds and a Bucket. So 20 women tried out for this. Okay, let me just say that. I am screaming. Okay, and Flavor Flav was well into his 30s. Like, I think he was like 40 something at this time, and there was like women from the age of like 21 to like, I don't know, maybe 26 or something like that. And it was just crazy, is all I'm saying. But anyway, so the girls are just standing there giving boring, unimportant monologues into their personalities. And then Flav introduces himself as, the greatest hype man, and or should I say, remind us of him being on Strange Love. Back when this real life was popping, Flav goes on to explain how he wants someone for himself. Okay. Okay, so I have to touch on this before I say anything else. When Rain said she's been a fan of Flav since she first saw him, and he let her know it was okay to be loud and boisterous and full of life, because she was crying. I'm sorry. I hollered. Like, how do these cameramen keep it together? Because I couldn't. I'm sorry. I would have bust out in tears. Like, ma'am, are you serious? You just met this man. Like, are you okay? Like, but that's we're gonna put a pin in that, and I'm talking about a long pin. Like, talking about from this episode till like the end of her time and even the reunion, because there is just something about that woman that is just out of control. And let me just say this is just a quick spoiler alert. Well, I guess not really, but if you didn't see it, spoiler alert. On Charm School, she was just insane. I don't know. But anyway, so Hottie sits on her bed talking about home at last. She's, besides New York, reality TV gold. I'm sorry. Especially when she would blink and they would do that ching sound. Like, she's hilarious. So the girls realize that there's 20 of them and only 15 beds. So obviously 5 girls are leaving that night. Shady, bro. So Flavs then says that he's not great at remembering names, so he's going to give them nicknames. This starts a long epidemic of what we call misogynistic behavior. So he calls Oyster, well, I don't know her real name, forgive me, but he calls her Oyster, and then so so she's like, you can't call me that, and he's like, don't tell me what I can do. Like, I holler, like the way she looked, like, okay, like she was over it at that point, and I kind of got where she was coming from, excuse me. So to just clarify, the names are Oyster, Picasso, Rain, Apples, Smiley, Sweetie, Cherry, Bubbles, Peaches, Georgia, Pumpkin, Serious Shells, which let me just say this, he couldn't find a name for this girl. He was struggling very hard. Hoops, Goldie, Smokey, Miss Latin, and save the best for last. Yo, New York! So, fast forward past that part, the girls start drinking and having a good time. Apples. This woman, this bitch, no, I said it. This bitch says she didn't know if she fit in with the other women. Then proceeds to say she didn't know how ghetto, she put the quotations, some people might be. Let me just say this. Well, two things. Number one, that's so disrespectful. And this was a time, like this was an era in time where, we might have taken it as a dig, but it's kind of like, I don't know. She'd said that shit today, she would have got canceled immediately because I don't agree with the cancel culture. There's a lot of stuff that they do that I think is the most. Like when they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle, like stop. However, there's some things that I do agree that should be canceled. That hoe should have been canceled for that coming out her mouth like that. And then also, bitch, you're on Flavor of Love. Seeking the attention of Flavor, large clock, loud voice, ghetto speaking Flav. Mayweather missed me with that bullshit. Oh, child. Anyway, so New York gets her trash talk on, calling the girls a loud pack of idiot bitches. And I love it. Like, New York, the thing about New York that I love, and even from day one, is that I don't care if she was just acting from a certain standpoint. I do feel like there was a part of her that I really did care and really love Flav, especially when it came to intimacy. Because, I mean, honestly, like, I've been intimate with some really, like, not attractive guys to me, but I'm a sapiosexual, so I'm attracted to the man first. But I've dealt with some guys where I'm like, he's really not cute, but I'm telling you, the sex is out of this world. So she might have a thing there. But, so, oh yeah, also the girl Smokey. So she made it a point to keep saying, like, she started off saying her family's really smart and, but she's adopted. And then she kept saying different words and was like, is that a word? Is that a word? And I promise you, if she says, is that a word one more time, I'm gonna strangle her ass. Like, I just had to really get that off my chest because that got on my last nerve. Oh my gosh. So, moving on, Smiley and Cherry get in the pool, and Cherry is talking about being in competition and how once you see her big boobs, that's it, thus beginning her desperate pursuit. And let me just say, being desperate does not make the man keep you. I mean, men love women that can do, things like if you're a little easier than most, a man might go for you. However, what she is failing to realize is that sometimes, and I said this before, a woman can be like nasty and a guy like likes it, but if you're too slutty, it comes off like, whoa, okay, disgusting. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like that Cherry was doing. She was doing the most. So there's a lot of random ass, organically funny ass moments in this show. So Sweetie asking Flav, does he need Viagra, will forever send me. Like, she's like, are you in the house? Like, I'm sorry, ma'am, like, what? So moving on past that part where she actually did make him laugh a couple times, which is really cool. But the way Picasso's face looked when she asked her was, it sends me every time. I mean, when she asked him, excuse me. So outside, Cherry starts being overly sexual with Flav, and it's just like cringy. First of all, I don't know if she's just got heels on, so she's taller than him, or she's standing on something, but she's towering over him. So he's got his hands not on her ass, but on like right up under the ass, like on her thighs. And then she's like kissing him all over him. Like, I mean, you would think that they've been a couple for a while, the way she was like making out with him. I'm like, she's like kiss all over him. I'm gonna kiss you here. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do you right. And I'm just like, ma'am, slow down. Like, this is what I was talking about. Her desperate pursuit. It's like, you can be sexual, but you have to give him, like, you have to leave things to the imagination. And I just feel like she was not doing that. And it kind of like again, it came off very like desperate, like she was trying too hard in a way. So that was my thought process. It was just cringy as all hell. So and then they moved on to Rain. She's outside. She's like watching all the girls like be just all over Flav and fighting over him because you only gotta. It's a mixer, so for all we know, they're probably outside for an hour. So of course, girls are gonna be like chasing after him, and then there's gonna be the ones like Cherry, who I mentioned, who are just overly desperate. So Rain damn near crying while talking about how she's hoping Flav sees through the fake and the slutty bodies, and I'm just like, are you okay? Why are you always tearing up? Like, she just gives me really unstable vibes. Like, I just feel like she needs to be locked away. Like, you barely know this man. Like, literally. And you're crying, and this is day one. Like, we're not even like, I could see it for like 3 days away, maybe even 7 days away from the final elimination. Okay, I could see you feeling some type of way. But it's literally day one. I'm going to need her to relax. Whew, Jesus. She need help. And so Goldie was, the fun person at the house. So she's beatboxing and singing with Rain. They drinking strawberries and champagne. And then when she's like, I got a strawberry a little bit. Like, she had me crying, yo. And like, she was all like, I'm not that messed up, blah, blah, blah. So she eventually fell asleep. So she eventually did get too messed up. I'm telling you, like, I agree with Rain on that. That champagne will sneak up on you, okay? You got to watch out for that. And then like, Rain's like, okay, we're about to go to elimination. I will give Rain that. She was a real one for that. She's like, girl, I'm not going to let you leave here. Get up, da, da, da. So she finally gets her up. 5 seconds later, she's throwing up. I was like, damn, Goldie. But you know what? She was her OG for real. She was an OG. Because the way she just picked up, got her a little piece of bread and had some water and was like, hey, turn up. Like, she was alive and well. Okay? You know what? Well, you know what? If you want to be real, I could have done that. Then. I'm 32 now. 22? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. I'm recovering like 2.5 seconds. 32, I need about 5 business days before I can ever get back to normal. Like, negative. So, all right, elimination time comes, and I know it's a competition, but they're talking about, like, all the girls, like, they're watching the water, getting ready, and they're all talking about the elimination ceremony, like, they've been there for weeks. Like, again, it's day one. Like, everybody's like, I would hate to get eliminated, and I didn't do anything, and I just feel like I'm the right woman for him, and I'm like, how do you know that? He might not be the right man for you. This is what I'm talking about. It was just, it was very dramatic. And maybe it's supposed to be like that on purpose, but I guess. So, in the end, because I'm not going to go through everything he says during elimination, it's really not important. So, Smokey, Picasso, Cherry, Bubbles, and Shells got eliminated. The way Cherry reacted after just meeting this man was so dramatic. Like, girl, stop it. Like, she's all like, I didn't want to go home. I was just real good. I was just like, see, you another unstable woman. Like, it's not that serious. Just be like, oh, well, I could have got to know him. But, I mean, it is what it is. Walk off. Like, I don't know. Some of these women they need to be locked away. So, moving on to episode 2, which is Rub It Up Flav. So the girls are talking, and Rain is talking about New York. Well, no, I'm sorry. Georgia's talking about New York first, and her dramatic behavior, which personally wasn't that serious. She's just like, why am I wearing this? I'm like, girl, shut up. So then Rain joins in because of course. So I'm over her. So, moving on, Miss Latin calls her newly single ex, Cash, from the house. The house phone reminds me of the bat phone on BGC. But by fresh, I mean they're fresh out of a relationship. Like, they're fresh out of this breakup. I don't know why she's there. So, that we're going to put a pin in that. So, Big Rick brings the first Flavogram, and he sets up 10-minute hot tub dates with all the ladies, and they have to personalize it. Now, they just have to make it their own. Like, how are they going to decorate the hot tub, where they're at, and everything like that. It's kind of a cool challenge, to be honest with you. So when the girls get ready, they come down. Oh my gosh. All right. So New York comes down and says, good morning to all the ladies, except Rain, who she says, not you. You can choke. I wish you, Red Oyster's face after she said that sends me every time. But like the way Rain looked up as well, I was like, Lord. So she's like, I wanted to see her anger level. She's like, she got mine screwed by me, and it worked. And you know what? Even though that's the funniest stuff I've ever heard, she's not lying. And we're going to put a pin in that as well. So they get in the car. This is where the second pin comes out. They're in the van, I guess you call it, and they're on their way to their first challenge. And basically, Goldie asked New York how she would feel if Flav was to basically undress in front of her or something like that. Excuse me. And then New York was like, I don't know, but I got a lot of stuff in my mind right now. And they're basically like, oh, you don't want to talk to anybody, you want to make friends. She's like, no, I'm not interested in that. I feel like I said that way too fast, but y'all get the point. She doesn't want to make friends, and everybody got mad at her. So the fact that these girls got on New York because she didn't want to be their friend is a perfect example on why she's the queen. I said what I said. And then Rain started inserting herself, okay, and freaking out. And the way she was freaking out, I feel like she needs a psychiatrist, because it was like, why are you screaming like that? Like, she was legitimately hollering like a psychopath. And I'm like, calm down. I felt like, anybody who ever watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, especially the OG series, when Shay Mack was drunk and yelling at Jocelyn, and she was like, calm down. That's how I was feeling when she was yelling, like, girl, relax. It's not that serious. I don't know. I'm telling her, a girl needs help. So the girls arrive and have to decorate their hot tubs in their favor. All the girls are getting sexy, and poor Peaches is playing music for him. She's good at it, don't get me wrong, but this isn't the show for her. She's just so sweet. She's a sweetheart. I like her. So, oh yeah, and then Smiley talking about love and cookies. Girl, she get on my nerve. But she did take off her makeup and was like, this is the real me, and I want you to see the real me with all the glitz and glamour. So we're going to put a pin in that. So, and then there was Hottie. She was low-key trying to hypnotize him, like, with this, like, little wand thingy. Like, it had, like, all these bright... It looked like something you get from your kids from the store. Like, I promise you, it was, like, bright lights and stuff. She's like, look at the lights. And then, she's always in character. I love it. So, all in all, after the challenge is done, Smiley, New York, and Miss Latin won the challenge. Now, they're at home. Flav says it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going by his words. Pumpkin starts calling out New York because, once again, New York doesn't want to be friends. Oh my gosh, let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. LIG it. She don't want... Pull it, Elsa. Let it go. Let it go. She doesn't want to be friends. This is the most dumbest argument I've ever heard with grown women in a competition I've ever heard in my life. That's all I have to say. But also, New York telling Pumpkin she needs a facelift sends me every time. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out of the way. So, conversation gets heated. Pumpkin starts screaming like a psychopath. And after screaming like that and walking away and then seeing Flav, she turns on her white woman tears. If you are of the unmelanated descent, meaning you're white, it's not a dig towards you. I'm talking about the Karens who turn on their unmelanated tears whenever they want their way. That's who I'm speaking with. So if that ain't you, log off. I'm not talking about you. So, and then New York just walks off and goes upstairs. Like, I'm just get my cigarettes. Like, I holler. But Flav just ended it with, if it don't apply, let it fly. And then he hugged her. Thank you, Flav, because I was done with this little, listen to her. Like, I hate that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so moving on. So next, Miss Latin tries to call her ex-boyfriend. And then after he basically dismisses her and gets off the phone with her, she goes to talk to the girls in the house. More importantly, Pumpkin, Apples, and Hoops. Why? I don't know. Regardless, she reveals that they've only been broken up for a week. That's where the first pin comes in. Like, ma'am. In her confessional, Pumpkin scheming ass talks about how she's gonna tell Flay, but she doesn't want to look like a snitch. And this is a prime example of why New York didn't want no friends. That's it. That's it right there. So then the date comes, and New York, Smiley, and Miss Latin and Flav go to the skating rink. New York started falling over on purpose to get his attention. You know New York, she dramatic as hell. Smiley got a compliment from Flav because she took her makeup off to show him the real her. That was the third pin. So then Flav, after all that, Flav sits all the girls down, to eat, and asks all the girls if they ever been married. Now, Smiley says yes and explains how he left her abruptly, and she starts crying, and I'm just kind of like, whoo. That chapter's not done. And then Miss Latin sort of answers that question because she doesn't really tell him what's going on, and she says that she should have. I'm like, yeah, girl, hello. And then New York just despises all of that. She's just kind of like, both of these hoes gotta go. This bitch crying, which is unhealthy, and then this bitch lying. You can tell she's still in love. New York, you might say whatever you want about her because she was on point with it, though. So when they get back to the house, the game of telephone goes around the house, and about Miss Latin and her ex, and how if her ex asks her to choose that, she'd choose her ex, which she did say that. I didn't say that, forgive me, y'all, but I'm saying it now. She did tell the girls that. So Hottie confronts Miss Latin, and she gets mad, and even Hoops is like, why do you care? Like, why is it your business? Pumpkin and Hoops fake asses, okay? Just fake. And the reason why I say that is because dinner time comes and they start arguing about it to the point that Sweetie starts banging on the table like, girl, I just want to taste my food. I ain't got time for this. But Pumpkin and Hoops fake ass is trying to come at Hottie about starting trouble and doing the most. But stop being fugazi, because y'all was talking mad shit about that. Like, stop. Like, this, you know what? We should have knew then that them hoes was fake. But we was young then, so we couldn't tell. But it just was so childish to me. Like, you're corny. Like, why would she not do that? It's a competition, and we're supposed to be fighting, quote unquote, for this man's heart. And if that's the case, you wouldn't tell your man if a girl he was dating, if y'all was actually dating and you knew he was dating another woman, you wouldn't tell him if a girl was playing him. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I told you about Pumpkin and her white woman's hair. She been fake, okay? And that's all I have to say about that. And we know Hoops is fake too. I said what I said, Hoops. If you don't like it, oh well. I don't know who you are today. I'm talking about in this reality show, you was fake as hell. But anyway, elimination comes, and it's down to Oyster, Miss Latin, Rain, Georgia. I don't remember the rest, but there's 2 other people. But Oyster ends up getting the clock. Flav respected her because she did come to him out of everybody and let him know, hello, Shorty is fake. Let's put a pin in that for later episodes. Okay, now the girls leave. A couple of them had some words, like not too many harsh words, but just kind of like, why would you do that? Why would you eliminate me? Oh my gosh. But Rain talking about how she's never speaking to Flav again, but she's met many amazing people. And then yes. What is she doing, y'all? Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. She's crying. Like, wow. I've never been so stressed out about a person on TV. But she's stressful. Because why are you crying, man? Like, seriously. Fix it, Jesus. I can't with her. But yeah, so all in all, those first 2 episodes, just rewatching them, I mean, it definitely was a fun ride. There were definitely some fun things I saw. I didn't really realize how fake Pumpkin and Hoops were. But rewatching that, I was just like, man, y'all fake for real. And like I said, when it comes to Hottie, what I don't care about when it comes to her, because honestly, she is in character. She confirmed that years later. She was always in character. And some people, you just got to respect the game, and I respected the game in the house. So I respected New York. I respected Hottie. You just got to respect them and who they are. You cannot get mad at people for doing their job. They doing their job. But when a person's doing it and it's just entertaining. And it's not like you're doing it and you're like, God, I can't stand you. Like, there's a difference. Some people just love to be hated. But see, New York was hated in so many different ways, though. Like, when I was younger, yeah, I couldn't stand her, but she was entertaining to me. But as I got older, like, remember, I was young when these shows came out. But when I got older, I was like, yo, that is my bitch. Like, and I followed New York on damn near anything she's on, because I just love her that much. You know what I mean? She's gonna always be top tier reality TV. Nobody can top her, and that's what everybody talks about. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos, what's it called? Podcast. Everybody is in agreement. She is the HBIC. There is plenty of females that are remembered from Flavor of Love. But if you say Flavor of Love, whose face pops up in your head first? New York. Done deal. End of discussion. You could take that check and cash it at the bank. Okay? But with that being said, I mean, what do you guys think about the recap? What do you guys actually think about the episodes? Who is your favorite characters, or should I say cast from that episode? Excuse me. And I'll be back soon with episode 3 and 4, so stay tuned. Cheers.